Hello flight simmers, welcome back everyone and welcome to the next full flight video. Today we are back in Dubai, where we haven't been in quite a while now. And yeah, we are flying the PMDG 777-200ER, the extended range version in the Air France livery. And I myself, I didn't actually know that there were different versions of the Air France livery, so they changed the size of the name a bit. So this one is with a large version, and then the older ones I think have a slightly smaller Air France writing on the fuselage. But yeah, it looks quite nice, I have to admit. This is the livery from INI Builds. In case some of you are wondering, they have really nice liveries. And yeah, so this one is from INI Builds, and yeah, we are sitting here at Dubai. We are also online, flying on VATSIM, although currently there's no ATC online. And also it is quite empty at the moment, but I'm hoping that we will catch some nice ATC later on over in Europe. And yeah, I'm also very much looking forward to get to Paris Charles de Gaulle. Very nice airport. I've only used it once in the sim up to this point in time, but it's a very nice scenery. Actually today both of the sceneries very fantastic. So yeah, in terms of scenery we have a perfect setup today really. And yeah, flight time to Paris is 7 hours and 15 minutes. Scheduled departure time is 9 a.m. local time, and then we'll get to France at around, I think, 1 p.m. local time. So it's a nice daytime flight. We can see a few clouds around. I think later for the day there's also the forecast for some thunderstorms, but by this time we'll be gone. And we have the nice skyline all the way back there. And also, I noticed when I was loading in the flight that the scenery is not quite up to date. So apparently all this area back here where it says Emirates Sky Cargo, this is now a terminal. And I think it's the Charlie stands over there. So I saw on Flight Radar Air France was actually departing from these gates over there. But when I was loading in, I was noticing it's still the cargo stands, the scenery. That's why I switched over here to this terminal. Yeah, and passengers are getting in there, 563. That's of course a bit of nonsense. We have, I think, 260 packs on there. I also put in quite a bit of cargo, some 20 tons or so. So we have a fairly high zero fuel weight today. But yeah, first of all, let's head inside the flight deck and start to prepare. Right, so here we are, and quickly showing you the load for today. So zero fuel at 191.8, and it's load level of 87.2%. That's quite something. And yeah, then also some packs. So a good payload for today. We can start by requesting the route, which is stored, of course. So that's requesting. Maybe very quickly, let me try to pull up the charts for the flight. Yeah, so yeah, that's sim brief, just very quickly showing you. We're starting off on a flight level of 300 and eventually stay there for a bit. The reason is there are two jet streams really facing directly into our nose here, onto our nose. And that's why we stay fairly low at the beginning, and then later on I think we have a chance to climb up a bit higher. Then there are no more jet streams we have to face. But yeah, quite interesting. So we will head out over the Saudi Arabia, then over Egypt, and then into the Mediterranean area. Right, so that's the idea for today. And now this is loading in quickly. Oops, I don't have a setup for this. Showing you the charts. So we are departing runway 12 right, I think it is, on the Cenepa. Yeah, I think it's the Cenepa departure. So flying out to Astes runway, heading below 5,000, and then we have minimum speed 200 and max 220. But then only altitudes we have to be above certain points. So that's gonna be fine. I think initial climb clearance 4,000 onto Cenepa, and yeah, that's what we will do. Now let's see, activate, performance, accept, zero fuel weight coming in. And reserves is 6.7 today. Alternate is Brussels, according to SimBrief. And then, yeah, as mentioned, not quite that high at the beginning. 300, and cost index, or on SimBrief it says 160. I'm just going to go with it. I just going to leave it there. I think it's going to be fine anyway. Now let's see, it's 11 tons of fuel up on arrival. If we load in the wind now, I think this should drop quite a bit. Yeah, 6.1. So that's really 6.3. I think that's even below. Where is it? Yeah, that's for now, that's even below. But we're gonna do some step climbs. I think we will be fine eventually. It's also so low because the aircraft is not quite happy with the flight level 300 for now. Maybe we can also go ahead and put in the planned step climbs. So E2 will be the first one. Yeah, so that's gonna be flight level 320 step. And then we have one more at a maxi. It's gonna be flight level 340 step. And now it's coming down even more than that. So quite interesting. But nevertheless, I usually SimBrief is very accurate in all their calculations. So I'm gonna go with the SimBrief values, and then yeah, I hope we will be fine in terms of fuel. Right. Transition here at Dubai. I don't even know. 13,000. Like that, and then this was 4,000 now, and runway heading is 119. So 119. Oh, sorry, I went too far. 119, and now we just do the calculation, and then we wait for GSX to finish the boarding. So 1 to right, conditions are dry. Let's very quickly see. That is, oh, that took a while. So we have, where's my keyboard? That is. Winds variable 150 between 210 at 5 knots, so that's 170 at 5. Temperature is 21, QNH 1016. Clouds 2000. Yeah, so very nice weather really. That's going to be PAX auto and engine wing anti-ice auto. Then we go. Yeah, we can also enter it manually. So takeoff weight is 251,406. Okay, not. I think we need to switch over to kilograms. Now it's deleted. So again, 251,406. Maximum, by the way, would be 297, so still almost 50 tons shy of max takeoff weight. Right, and here we have flaps 5, select temperature 49, 150, 155, 160. Let's pull this up very quickly. So 1 to right, and that was the Zenepa 3 Golf. So thrust limits, that's 49. Takeoff flaps 5. Center of gravity 27.8, and that's then we need the wind 170 at 5. Temperature 21. 150, 155, 160. Like that. Okay, flight directors, LNAV, VNAV, and okay, now it came up a bit, 10.1. Oh, interesting. Then I think there was something wrong with the routing, since we have not entered the takeoff yet, but that looks good now, 10.1, plenty, okay. Right, then let's go ahead and fire up the APU. It won't be too long from now. Seatbelts can come on as well. And then we should be good to go any second. All right, so doors are all closed. We can go ahead and arm them. Then we have the parking brake. And then let's go ahead and, we first need the APU, of course. So external power is coming off. And now we can go ahead and remove everything. And then also we should put on the APU to get some air conditioning. Undock, undock, confirm. Right, and then the checklists. Oxygen tested 100%. Flight instruments heading 210, 210, and altimeter 1016 and 1016. Okay, then we have the right hydraulic waiting for the light to extinguish. And then we have the electrics and the other ones, and then we have fuel pumps, beacons, signs are set. Let's see, center fuel 6.1. Yes, we have. Okay, so those are coming on as well. And then transponder is going to 1000. TA only. Let's make sure this is weather and turbulence. And then we need Unicom, but currently we're really the only aircraft here to buy, so like that. Okay. So, flight deck door closed and locked, passenger signs are on, MCP is set, takeoff speeds are done, CD preflight is completed, trim is, rudder trim is 0 units, and takeoff trim 4.75. So we need to trim up a bit. I think this should be it. Taxi and takeoff briefing completed. Righty. Yeah, taxi is going to be fairly short to the runway. All right, off we go. Block time is coming on. And then we are good to fire up those beautiful engines. And I always have to rethink when flying a different aircraft, but this should work. Just like this, auto start. Okay guys, so this pushback was seriously next level shit. We came from this stand and ended up like that and went around all the way down here. and then a big loop over here, so that was completely messed up. Quite happy that ATC is currently not online and did not see what was just happening here. But anyway, now here we are, and I've killed the APU already. And yeah, not just waiting for GSX to disconnect the pushback truck. Okay, they are now leaving the scene, so let's go ahead. Yeah, APU is off. Overhead panel is looking good for now. Then, oops, sorry, we can do the flight control check. Full left, full right, neutral, full up, full down, neutral, and the rudder full left and full right. That's checked. And yeah, trim is set. Flaps come to position 5. This goes to RTO. And then NTI is not required. Recall is checked. Flight controls checked. Ground equipment clear. And then before takeoff checklist, we can also complete in a second. Okay, they are off, so let's get going now. Taxi lights. And off we go. Also VORs, traffic and weather. VORs, traffic is on already. Terrain. Ooh, we are heavy today. Need quite some power to get going. Alright, taxiway Kilo coming up, and that's going to be our entry to the runway. Let's pull up the departure chart for the departure, and again remembering below 5,000, min 200, max 220, okay. Alright, and now we're good to go. Approach is free. So landing lights, turn-offs, strobes, everything on.
Approaching. 1, 2, right.
Minimum 200, that's interesting. It's not hard dialed in here, just the maximum. So let's see how the aircraft will get there. Okay, let's rock and roll then.
On runway. 1, 2, right.
Power's coming up. And Toga, there it is. As always, absolutely amazing engine sound. I know I should know it by heart, but I'm not quite sure which engine type we have today, but the sound is really amazing.
V1.
Rotate.
V2.
Okay, slowly pulling from 10 degrees, and we are born, pulling a bit more. Gears coming up. Cool, very nice. 1000 feet. I think acceleration is at 1500. There it is. Putting the nose down a bit. Taxi and turn off lights, no slides. And now let's try to get to speed 200. Should we fly manual? Yeah, I think good conditions to do so. To speed up a bit more, and now let's keep this climbing. There's no traffic around, so we should be fine. Okay, flaps 1. Very cool. Okay, 4000 and above, so we can keep on climbing. That's all looking good. Ooh, now look at this view on Dubai. Very, very cool. Okay, let's put on the autopilot. I want to enjoy the views. We are 7,000 feet still on flaps 1, but we can't retract them since we're limited to 220 knots. I think there's nothing really to do about it. I mean, chances are if ATC would be online now, they would give us free speed, since there's no other aircraft around, so maybe we can do that. If we just delete the constraint, yeah. Okay, that's good, yeah. That's looking better. So flight level 300 initially, as discussed, and flaps are coming up. Cool, very quickly now checking actually what engines we have today. Ah, it's the GEs, okay. Cool, so that's it. After takeoff checklist is completed, and then I will do music and cruise mode and meet you over at Paris. Enjoy! Hello flight simmers, welcome back to the flight deck, and yes, we are descending into Paris Charles de Gaulle, and yeah, about to pass 12,000 feet. Unfortunately, we are very unlucky with ATC today, so a couple of European stations are online, but nothing here in France, so once again, we are just on Unicom. But at least I think this time there might be a little bit of traffic down at the airport, and yeah, cruise has been fairly smooth, almost 7 hours now. The wind was quite interesting indeed, as we discussed in the beginning. So we basically stayed at, or eventually I climbed to 32,000 feet and stayed there all the way to Egypt, and after that going straight up to flight level 380, and then the wind was gone pretty much. So yeah, very interesting in terms of handling the wind on today's flight. And now let's have a quick look at the charts. So we will be doing ILS 26 left. As you know, this airport is rather big, so 26 left is all the way down here, and we also be parking down here at the Echo stand. So yeah, that's like the convenient thing to do. And right, we are flying the Tinil, what is this, 9 Whiskey arrival, I think. So all the way here, following all the constraints. Now we are coming into Okipa, I think. Yes, Okipa, which is the last one. So between flight level 110 and flight level 70. And after that, yeah, there's a bunch of charts today. So then it's the ANAV initial approach during daytime. There's also a separate one for nighttime, but we're using the daytime, of course. So we're coming in from here, going to Papa Golf 522, and then it's heading 329, and then we will sort of do left-hand turn, intercept the ILS. Should be fairly straightforward today, since yeah, it's not too busy at the airport. Right, and the interesting thing is the weather. Now we're heading into some clouds, because let me show you. So we have winds 30 knots from 220. Broken clouds at 2,000 and 4,000. 13 degrees. It's quite warm. QNH 1018, but it's becoming 23 at 15, gusting to 25. So it might be a bit windy down there. And in order to take this into account, I've decided to add 10 knots on top for the approach. Yeah, it's still in here. So yeah, we're doing a flap 30 landing plus 10 knots makes it 145. I think here it's 136 plus 5 makes it 146. I've selected it here as well to have like a double reference. The thing is, flap 25 is quite a bit more, so 143 adding 10 would make 153 for the landing. And somehow this feels to be very high, so I decided to go flap 30, and then we are a touch lower. And I think that's gonna feel better doing 146, which is still quite a considerate speed for a landing actually, but this should work. Righty. Okay, this is all set. Autobrake 2, landing ref, Barris 517, VREF is set, so that's all done. Transition, I think we can now dial to local 1018 and eventually dial down to 4,000, and then we can nicely see there. So 4,000, we have a bit of headroom there, so all looking good. And so that's done. Let's arm the speed brakes. We are below 10,000. Lights are coming on. Righty. Yeah, now we pretty much just continue on that heading until we can intercept the ILS, or maybe do quick left-hand turn slightly before that, and then make a call on Unicom, and that should be it. Alright, we're getting there. It's still 26 miles to go, so quite a bit, coming on to 5,000 now. I have set direct the initial fix, but with an inbound course of 264, so we are will be pretty much straight on the localizer there. I think that's a nice setup. Also starting to slow down. But yeah, now 25 miles, still a bit of area to cover here. Okay, 14 miles to go now, and we can arm the localizer, and Glidestop is also coming in, so approach mode, it's a bit shaky right now. Flaps 1. Ooh, it's very shaky now, that's crazy. Okay, let's go flaps 5 before we go down on the glide. And then speed coming back to 180 like that. Oh, it's also getting a bit stuttery. I hope the sim doesn't crash. Okay, let's make a quick call. 122.8. Paris Charles go traffic, Air Force 611 heavy, 10 mile final, ILS 26 left. Coming into 9 miles. Flap 15. Speed 170. It's crazy, it's quite bumpy, but yeah, it's also 27 knots of wind, which is quite a lot, considering we are that low. Okay, now the speed is dropping. It takes some time, but it's coming.
2500.
Okay, gear down. Okay, and final approach speed 145. And flaps full. Landing checklist should be completed as soon as the flaps are deployed. And there we are, so that's completed, and then we will pop on some more lights. Let's see if we get this. I think that's the correct config. Perfect, 5 miles to go, fully configurated. And there we are for the landing. And yeah, I'm not quite sure what Air France SOPs are, but I believe we're gonna leave the auto throttle in today. Just gonna do a normal manual landing with auto throttle. And there we can see the Parpies. That's good, but I'm gonna wait a little bit longer. Visibility is not quite there yet. And also let's keep an eye out for the wind. So now it's seems like a steady 13 knots, but it might be gusting a bit. Okay, visibility is definitely worse than I thought it would be, because it was given at 10 kilometers the visibility, but that's clearly less. But it's okay. I mean, now we can see the Parpies, we can see the runway a bit, so it's all fine.
Approaching 26 left.
It's just the patch of fog or like a low cloud just where's my minimum? So it's coming in there. Oh, that's gonna be a close call after all.
500.
I don't know what this stupid cloud is doing there.
EV1 Lima Alpha landing and departing runway 27 left.
It's weird how it's moving away. Okay, just in time. My aircraft. Interesting how the glide slope put us a little bit low there.
Minimums.
Continues. So Parpies and glide slope disagree quite a bit.
50, 40, 30, 20, 10.
Come on, get down. Oh, there was a floater. There we are. Reverse. Yeah, decelerating now. Manual braking, idle forward. Let's take this one. Cool, okay. So we've made a little bit of a floaty landing there. It's always a bit annoying when the Papis and the glide slope disagree. But I think it was alright after all. Okay, quick clean up. Like that. And the lights, taxi lights, strobes. Slow down a bit more. And flight directors coming off. This is going to be TA and weather terrain. I'm going to leave traffic in for a second since we have to cross the other runway. Seven hours 15. Exactly what has been scheduled by SimBrief. Very accurate. Okay, we can do the right-hand turn and then we can also see if there's some traffic lining up. Looks all free. Okay. So let's cross that runway. Strobes are coming on again.
08 left.
A little bit faster, please. Okay, and now let me see. I think we take the second one to the right. This airport is so confusing, it's so big. Yeah, I think the second one, and then we will set up the gate, which will be Echo 38. So down on Romeo. That was maybe a bit early, the turn, yes. Okay, Echo 38, here it is to the left. And guys, I can't believe it, but just now, tower, ground and delivery are online. We have been just 5 minutes too early, otherwise we would have had some nice ATC, but never mind. It was a nice landing and a nice flight anyway, so it is what it is. Okay, taxi lights. That's a very cool parking here. Unfortunately, I think the docking system is not showing anything. It's a bit unfortunate. Okay, the last one it is, makes sense. And there we go.
952 Quebec Foxtrot established, ILS 27 right, 15 miles out.
Parking brake and APU, I think is running. I really hate that we cannot see it on the overhead. Yeah, it is running. Very good. So, killing engines. And block time 7:33, and then we have the fuel pumps. And the beacons, seat belts, we have the hydraulics. Alrighty guys, so welcome once again to Paris, and I think there was a very nice 777 flight, especially the 777-200. It's, I don't know why, but I think I even like it more than the 300. Just such a cool plane. And yeah, landing rate was very soft, 111 feet per minute touchdown rate, but of course was a little floater as well. So yeah, not a perfect landing, but quite good after all. And yeah, so unfortunately a bit too early for ATC coverage, but nevertheless very nice and enjoyable flight. And yeah, I guess next time I will meet you again for a live stream. I haven't decided on which flight yet, but I will communicate this in time, of course. And yeah, hope to see you next time as well. Take good care.